guys, Hannah here and welcome to another Mini Zentangle session. Today is week 3, day 3, and the materials we're going to be using are a black fine liner pen, but if you don't have one, a black biro or gel pen, a black pencil, an earbud, or for those of you artists that have a tortillon or blending stump, that will be fine, and a white square of card. If you would like to pause the video, get yourself comfortable and we will begin. So today's tangle is a little bit different than the ones that we've done before, in that it requires a little bit more concentration. And today I'm going to start off with my pen and I'm going to draw 2 lines quite close to each other, from the bottom left to the top right, and then turning it slightly, and I'm going to draw another 2 that are very close together to the right, and then I'm turning it upside down and I'm repeating. So we've now got 3 sets of 2 lines. Normally I would do this part in pen, but because it's a little bit more complex, I'm going to start off in pencil. And I'm going to draw a zigzag line in the right hand side. I'm then switching it upside down, and I'm going to repeat this but the opposite way. So we've got something that looks a little bit like that. And the reason for drawing that in pencil first is because this does require a little bit of concentration. So once I've got my lines set up, my zigzag lines set up, I'm then going to go over that first one in pen, and I'm going to mirror and continue all the way across. So I've got something that looks like that. I'm then going to move down and fill in that second line, and you'll notice that I've turned my tile. The reason being is that we're going to fill this section with more straight lines, but in a different direction. And what I mean by that is that the first line we drew, the lines going up mirrored the way that that first line went, and the second line we drew, they go up in the same way. So when you look at it from that way, you've got them going in 2 different directions. I'm then moving down to the third line, which is exactly the same direction as the first one we did. And I'm going to fill that section with straight lines. And then turning again, this line is mirroring the second line we did. And I'm filling it with straight lines that go in exactly the same direction. So looking at it from the top, we've got 2 sections that are going that way, and then we've got 2 sections that are going that way. That means that even though I don't have a bottom line here, I know that these ones are going to mirror the first one we did and the third one we did. But I'm going to have to start from the inside rather than the outside on this occasion. That's what we've got for that one. Now here's where the magic happens. This line here, if you look, it looks like a point. So I'm just turning my tile because it's the most comfortable way of drawing. But when I fill these lines in here, I'm almost imagining that they're going to be at the same side, if you like, as the ones on the opposite. So if there wasn't that set of two centre lines, they would almost look like they join each other. And repeating what we did the other side, these sets of lines go in the other direction. And then moving down to set 3, you'll notice that the point of that marries up with the other side. So when I draw the ones in here, they're also going to be similar to the top row. And when this is finished, it will look like they join. And you'll notice, the reason why I did it in pencil, you'll notice that this actually is the wrong angle. It should be the same angle as that one. So I'm just taking it down that bit further. And then I'm repeating the same orientation as the second row we did. And then the last bit, we don't have one down here that we can follow. So using my eye, I'm going to turn it starting from the centre. I'm going to mirror them. And that's what we are left with. Now, all we have to do is add some shading. So this was the first line that we drew. So I'm going to add some pencil underneath. And I'm going to repeat it for that one as well. And I'm always drawing underneath. So underneath that first zigzag. And I know I'm turning my tile a little bit. It's because, again, I want it to be for my comfort. And this time I'm going to use the tortillon because I really want to get in there with the point. Obviously you can do it with your earbud. And make sure you turn your tile so that you're comfortable, not putting any extra strain on your fingers, your hands or your wrist. And look at what the shading, how the shading makes that look. I think it's quite amazing actually. But I'm not finished there. I'm going to go back to my pencil, and because I want to add some more depth, I'm putting a pencil line either side of the centre two lines, but with the outer two I'm just putting it on the inside. And then, you've guessed it, I'm going to use my earbud or my blending tool just to blend it out. And once you can get the hang of this particular pattern, I think it's brilliant. There's lots and lots of ways that you can decorate it, embellish it. And that's the way that it looks up that way, and that's the way it looks on the side. And if we turn it upside down, I think it looks like we're missing a little bit of shading here. So I'm not going to use my pencil, I'm just going to use the end of my earbud or my blending tool because I don't really want too much pencil on there. And when you're doing this, you'll spend a lot longer doing the shading. Now all I have to do is put my little chop, my signature in the corner, and I will show you some examples. So this is the one that I drew before, and the difference is that each corner point I've coloured in black. And this is what I mean by lots of different ways to decorate. And I think it looks quite stunning. This is the same tangle, But the difference with this one is instead of having 3 sets of 2 lines, I've got 4 sets. So in these 2 gaps here, I've carried on, and if you notice, I've put that little sparkle in as well. Here is one that I've drawn where I've coloured the black bits in, but instead of doing straight lines, I've drawn curved lines. So when you look at it and you're drawing, you can imagine drawing almost like a rainbow shape for the first set, the third set and the fourth set. And finally, this is one I've done that I just felt was a little bit of a sea theme, where I've actually drawn another tangle as part of the 2 sets, and then I've put the tangle in the centre. And I would love to see your artwork and how you get on with this. I hope you've enjoyed today. Please join me tomorrow for day 4. Bye for now.